Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Christine and we are going to be putting together a batch of dilly beans. So if you saw my last video, I didn't quite have enough to make another batch. I actually just used them to make green beans and bacon, so check out that video. But today I'm gonna put together some dilly beans from the 5 pounds that my husband found for me. So I thought I'd bring you with, so come on with. Okay friends, I've got a lot to do here. The 5 pounds my husband managed to get from people that he had met at the farmer's market, I guess. And I'm trying to hurry. We're heading out of town for a few days and I can't let these sit until we get back. So I'm literally just plucking the ends off. So I've got them all washed. But I'm kind of excited too. I was looking up a few recipes, but I have these nesting jars my daughter actually got me for Christmas. So they're a little bit taller, so I'm gonna try these. They're still a pint. They're still the 16 ounces, but that's kind of fun. So I'm gonna give these a try, and then I have my really big ones. Like I said, if you saw my last video, these are the ones I wanted to do dilly beans because I mean, these beans are so long. I mean, look at these. So I'll probably still have to trim them down. So I have 6 of these and I have 4 of these. And then I'm going to just do some water bath canning, and I have my digital canner, which I do not really have to babysit much. So I am going to get to this. Okay friends, I pulled out one more bowl because I'm putting kind of the curvy ones in here and a little bit smaller. And then this bowl is the more straight ones. So I'm almost done with this first one, and then I'm gonna move on to this one. Okay, we're all finished. So I have the really straight ones in this bowl and then the curvy ones in this one. So I am going to go and get the brine started, and we're gonna get the jars starting to warm up. Okay friends, we are going to get the brine going. So I have 4 cups of water, and this is my filtered water. And then I'm going to do 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. And then we're gonna make that last little bit up here, a little 1/4 cup. And then we're going to do 2 cups of regular vinegar. Okay, and then we're adding our salt, and we're adding 4 tablespoons. And this is my Redmond's real salt. And then we're going to bring this to a boil. That's 2, just so I don't lose count. 3. So bring this to a boil and make sure all the salt is dissolved. And then 4. Okay, we're gonna get this heating up and make sure it is all dissolved. Okay, we're just letting this come up to a boil yet. Meanwhile, I have my jars in here warming up, so we're gonna get those out and packed with all of this stuff. And meanwhile, this should come up to a boil here shortly. Okay, so I just got the first set of jars out. Don't mind the lawnmower in the background. My husband is mowing up some of the leaves. So I'm going to get, these are from the steam canner. So we're first going to get some dill in each one. And then we're going to put 2 cloves of garlic in each one. Oops, I missed that last one. And then I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of peppercorns. Okay. And then I'm just going to do a couple of shakes of crushed red pepper. I don't want them too spicy. And then we're going to do some mustard seed as well. Just a shake. Okay. And now we're gonna get the beans in. So I'm gonna use the ones that are kind of curled because these aren't the taller jars I wanted to save. So I've got the taller jars in the canner here. So I'm just going to kind of try to squish them in the best I can. And actually what I do with my knife. Okay, so I've got the 4 jars packed. That took a minute because the shape is so strange. So I'm not sure I like doing stuff in these, but that's okay. So everything else is on the bottom. I put the peppercorn, the crushed red pepper, the mustard seed, and the garlic. And then I'm just gonna top it off with like a half a teaspoon of minced onion before I put in the brine. And then that way it kind of soaks in. And you don't really touch these for a couple weeks anyways. All right, so I'm going to get the brine in. I'm just gonna start out real slow. Okay, so now if I can, I'm just gonna try to bubble pop these. Okay, so next is wiping the rims. And then this is where you're checking for any dings. Okay, getting the lids. And these are brand new lids. And I'm just gonna get the rings on finger tight, just like normal. And I'm gonna get these back in the steam canner. And then I'm gonna process these because these are pints. I'm just processing these like normal, but the taller ones I'm going to process like they are quarts. Actually, this ring is bad. I'm going to process the taller ones like quarts, so for 25 minutes. And these are just going to go for 20. Okay, I'm going to get them into the steam canner. Okay, putting the last one in. And I'm getting the lid on. And then it's got the gauge on the top, and I'm going to get it back on here. And I'm going to do a medium. And then I just have to watch until it gets to the correct area on the gauge. And then that's when we set our timer. So right now, until we get to the dark green area, we don't set our timer yet, so we just got to keep an eye on it. So as you can see, we are at the filled jars on the digital pressure canner. So I'm going to grab these jars out and get them filled up. Okay, we've got the jars out, and I'm just going to do the same thing like we did with the last ones. And I'm just going to put some sprigs of dill in the bottom. And if you don't have fresh dill, you can use dill seed as well. Okay, so now we're going to put in 2 cloves of garlic. All right, that looks good. And then we're going to do the same as we did before. We're going to do the peppercorns. Like a teaspoon of peppercorns. And then a couple shakes of mustard seed. Yeah, so I mean I barely used any for all 10 of these jars. And then it just depends on how hot you want. So I'm just gonna do a couple little shakes of the crushed red pepper. That's it. And then at the end I add the onion. So now let's get these jars packed. Okay, I've got the jars filled, and I literally just wanted to show you how tall some of these beans were. Like some of these literally are sticking up over the top. So I'm gonna have to take my scissors and snip. Okay, so then my last step is adding roughly a tablespoon of the minced onion to the top. Okay, so the other ones are done that were in the steam canner, so I'm going to get them out and I'm going to put them on my tray. Okay, so my brine is still going for these last three, and then the other three are sitting in the canner right now, just on warm, so they're not doing anything. But as soon as I'm done making the brine, I'll bring it back over and get these jars filled. Okay, I've got the rest of the brine made. Actually, this is really hot. So I'm going to funnel it in these last three jars and get them sealed up. Okay, we're getting the last one in. I'm going to get the lid on and into locked position. And so right now we're still at warm. So as soon as it says insert jars, everything will kind of start. So it's just warming up right now. Okay, the filled jars just came on. So filled the jars and now it is ready to go. 25 minutes once it gets up to this will say canning. Okay, it officially says canning right at the bottom here. So we will be done in 25 minutes and then the cool down session. Okay, we are on to the cooling session. Okay, it just beeped, so let's get these out of the canner. Okay, so we're going to open this up, pull that back. And I'm going to get this lid over here. Okay friends, we did it. It is later in the day and I have to get to packing. So our 5 pounds of those gigantic green beans that my husband so generously found for me yielded 6 of the 20-ounce jars. And I'm telling you, these things were like stuffed to the brim. And then also 4 pint jars, and those are the nesting ones. And I have to say, I don't know if I would use those again for canning, but it was really fun. Thank you to my daughter for getting those for me. So hopefully this helps you out and maybe you can utilize the yield on this. And then I'll leave the listing of the directions for the ingredients and their popping, which I love to hear. So I'll leave the ingredients down below. And if you have any tips or tricks, I'd love to hear that. So leave it down in the comments below. And thanks again for stopping by my little channel. I appreciate it so much. So if you like videos like this, canning, preserving, dehydrating, all kinds of fun things, hit that like and subscribe. And I will see you next time on Christine's Routines. Take care and God bless. Any more pops? I think there's one left. Let's see. Nope, I guess it's not going to do it. My husband saw how much I really wanted to do them with my last batch of beans, but didn't get to. This isn't.